Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone who is watching. Today, me, Batrisha, and my partners Shahrin and Ibrahim will be present the topic of 5G wireless communication. So, this agenda for the topic. First and foremost, we will introduce to you about 5G wireless communication. Next, we're going to know the general history of 5G communication. Next, the problem statement and also the literature review of it. The principal operation will be explained by Shahrin, while the method used will be presented by Ibrahim. Next, the areas of application, which we will know what is ITUR. We will also know the result and discussion of the research. And lastly, the conclusion and also the references. So let's start to the introduction. Basically, what is 5G and what does it offer? So 5G is 5th generation wireless, which is the newest relevance of cellular technology, developed to significantly rise in value of speed and receptiveness of wireless network. With the development of high-tech devices, gadgets and utility products in routine life, there is necessity to advance the energy optimization with greater degree of exactness and outstanding accomplishment in the midst of the previously existing mobile network. So 5G provides a high-speed internet facility at all times in any place for the whole world. So 5G is marginally dissimilar due to its innovative features such as interconnecting people, controlling devices, objects, and machines. And 5G mobile system will bring differing levels of performance and capability, which will provide as new user experiences and connect new enterprises. Therefore, it is must to know where the enterprise can take the advantage of the benefit of 5G.
Hi, I'm Norsharai binti Mohapong. Would like to present about general history about 1G until 3G, and will be continued to next presenter about 4G and 5G. 1G has been introduced to Tokyo resident in 1979 by Nippon Telegraph and Telephone. The first generational network had been completely covered. Japan made the first country that offered nationwide 1G service on 1984. In 1983, Ameritech didn't introduce yet about 1G on United States till it's been introduced on 6 March 1983. Following of the success of 1G, 2G has been launched in Finland in 1991 on GSM, which is mean Global System for Mobile Communication, and that time 2G have been included encrypted calls, which is nobody could drop in your unwanted call anymore. Next, 3G was the third generation of cellular technology that enabled mobile telephony. The third generation standard follows deployment of two previous generations, which is 1G and 2G, on mobile networks and across mobile phone. I would like to pass to next presenter for continue the presentation.
Okay, so I will explain about the general history of 4G. In 2009, the long-term evolution is what we call as LTE, was first deployed in Stockholm, Sweden, Oslo and Norway. It was subsequently introduced throughout the world and made high-quality video streaming a reality for millions of consumers. So, after we got 4G technology, we can watch 4G HD video from internet like YouTube, or we watch K-drama or Netflix. So finally we can watch it in HD streaming. Okay. So next is 5G general history. So 5G is the 5th generation technology standard for broadband cellular network, which cellular phone companies began deploying globally in 2019. It is planned successor to 4G network which connect most current cell phone. So basically 5G technology is the upgraded version from 4G technology.
So next will be the problem statement, which difficulty are the natural part of the current evolution. Wherefore, like all technology, 5G has correspondingly measured constitution to allocate with. As experienced erstwhile, for example, the evolution of radio technology, it can determine genuinely rapid excrescence, ranging from 1G to 5G. The excursion is barely around 40 years age, estimating 1G in 1980s and 5G in 2020s. Nevertheless, in this research study, the usual difficulties or matters that will adhere are insufficient of structure, exploration methodology, and expenditure. However, there are dozens of countries applying 2G and 3G technology and still not be aware of the truth about 4G. In such a situation, the most crucial question or the most problem statement in everyone's mind are: how far will 5G will be feasible? Will it be the technology of some of the advanced countries or evolving countries will correspondingly acquire advantage of this? To extrapolate this question or complication statement, the expostulation of 5G are compartmentalized into two sections, which are technological challenge and also common challenge. For the technological challenge, we have separate into three parts, which is intercell interference, efficient medium access control, and also the traffic management. While the common challenge will be separate into five, which is multiple services, infrastructure, communication, security, and legislation. So next will be the literature review. So what we have studied in this research are security, business, and service is a part of the 5G wireless communication system. The security and privacy are one of the consequential difficulties that 5G needs to secure the protection of the individual data especially. So 5G will need to outline the dubitations bonded to security threats involving trust, privacy, cybersecurity, which are rising across the world. Security is one of the most consequential factors of every wireless transmission network. 5G network has to assure security and privacy for end user. Next, for the business, 5G wireless communication can save costs, especially in operational costs. It can reduce the cost, at the same time increase the employee connectedness and can respond to their work duties remotely. And lastly, the service. 5G networking technology will make it easy for the services like video streaming and downloading because of the high bandwidth.
I would like to continue basic principle of operation of 5G wireless communication. Following of the technology that have been upgraded, the new 5G new radio air interface will enhance OFDM to provide much greater and scalability. 5G wireless much more higher and less radio frequencies that will address issue by employing multiple input-output antenna to increase signal and capacity across the wireless network. Current estimates indicate that 5G will be able to support up to 1,000 more devices per meter than 4G. Operators will be able to deliver the appropriate network slice based on how it used and allowing them manage their network. It also allows business to run their own isolated and insulated networks like to avoid competing internet traffic.
Okay, so we will be discuss about method used in the 5G technology. So we have four methods. The first method is non and quasi orthogonal multiple access. NOMA or OMA is a technique planned to be used for 5G cellular wireless network to significantly improve the spectral efficiency of mobile connection network. So this method is used to increase the capacity of the user. So there will be more user that can connect to the internet if you're using this method. Okay, so the second method is massive multiple input, multiple output MIMO. So it expands beyond the legacy system by adding a much higher number of antenna on the base station. So the benefit of using MIMO is MIMO use multiple transmitter and receiver to transfer more data at the same time. So the benefit of using MIMO is it reach higher speed than the 4G network because it have more data carried at one time because it have more transmitter and receiver. Okay, so the third method is full duplex. Full duplex is technology promised to give wireless network the ability to simultaneously transmit and receive wireless signal over a single spectral channel at the same time. So the function of full duplex is data can be transmitted in both directions on a signal carrier at the same time. So the data can be received and sent at the same time. Because we know if in the previous technology, data can be only sent in one way. So in this full duplex can send data and receive data at the same time. So it will be much more faster than previous technology. So the last method used in 5G is millimeter wave communication. Millimeter wave communication is an innovative cellular technology that provides access to the large bandwidth and capacity available in the frequency band above 24 GHz. So what is actually the function of millimeter 5G wave? Okay, the MM wave will provide increased performance, better coverage and closer integration across multiple wireless technologies. So if we use 5G millimeter wave, so it will have a better coverage. So we can connect to the internet although we far from the internet. So it will have more wide coverage for the user.
So next will be the advantages and disadvantages of each method used, which is the first one is non and quasi orthogonal multiple access, which is NOMA. And the advantages of the NOMA is it offers high spectral efficiency due to use of multiple users on same frequency. And it also offers massive connectivity by serving more users simultaneously at the same time. But what is this advantage of the NOMA? So each of the user within the cluster need to decode information of all the other users, even one having worse channel gains. This leads to the complexity in the receiver. Moreover, energy consumption is higher. If error occurs in single user due to SIC, decoding all the other users' information will be erroneous. This limits maximum numbers of users to be served by each of the cluster of the cell. Next is the advantage and disadvantages of MIMO, which is massive multiple input, multiple output. So the advantage of MIMO is it provides higher spectral efficiency by allowing its antenna array to focus narrow beams toward user. While the disadvantage is more complex and require more effort and time during assembly line compared to traditional antenna design.
Advantages and disadvantages of method full duplex is both stations can send and receive the data at the same time, but if no dedicated path exists between the devices and the capacity of communication channel will divide it into two parts. for the next method of millimeter wave communications, the advantages will provide massive capacity and even lower latency to unlock the full 5G experience. But the disadvantages might need higher costs in manufacturing of greater precision hardware due to components with smaller sizes.
Okay, so the areas of application for 5G, the E2R has identified three main application areas for 5G enhanced capabilities. There are three of them. The first one is eMBB, URLLCC, and MMTC. What is 5G eMBB? eMBB stands for Enhanced Mobile Broadband. The peak data rate is 10 to 20 Gbps, 100 Mbps whenever needed, 10,000 times more traffic, supports macro and small cell. So the second one is 5G MMTC. MMTC stands for Massive Machine Type Communication. It supports high density of device. It also supports long range. It support low data rate, and lastly, it leverage benefits of ultra low cost of M2M. Lastly, 5G URLLC. URLLC stands for Ultra Reliability and Low Latency Communications. It provides ultra responsive connections. It offer less than 1 millisecond air interface latency. And the last one is it's offer high speed mobility. So that's all for area of application for 5G network.
For the result and discussion, we will know that 5G technology component are divided into 4 components, which is new spectrum, beamforming, network slicing, and also LTE 5G interworking. So new spectrum, which is spectrum in the 1 GHz to 6 GHz range, is mid-band spectrum, and it is considered ideal for 5G because it can carry plenty of data while also traveling significant distances. So for beamforming, a particular processing technique for signals that allow for directional transmission or reception. And network slicing is a network configuration that allows multiple networks, which is virtualized and independent, to be created on top of a common physical infrastructure. And lastly, LTE 5G interworking, which is 5G is a collective term for the 5th generation of mobile network technology. LTE stands for long-term evolution, and it is a 4G technology. And also we will know from the result and discussion the 3 features of 5G, which is more volume for improved mobile broadband experience. Next, introductory new spectrum opportunity to meet data demand, and also virtual zero latency through full coverage and low power.
In conclusion, 5G technology will be a new revolution in wireless system market and will be promote concepts of supercore, where all network operators will be connected one single core and have single infrastructure regarding to their access technologies. 5G will bring evaluation of active infra that sharing and manages services, and eventually all existing network operator will be mobile virtual network operators.
So lastly, we will show you our reference for our report. So we got 4 reference, which is what is 5G, 4G and 5G mobile communication network, 5G network architectures, and lastly, connectivity radio in 5G. That's all for our reference.
So I think that's all from us. Thank you for lending your ears.